People really don't know what their expenses will be because they don't know how long that they're going to live.
Americans are worried they won't have enough saved for retirement now more than ever.
Retirement is going to cost, for many folks, over $1 million.
Is no sure thing in investing, but a lot of people think that annuities may come close to that.
It's going to more safe things that they know. If they know they're going to need that money to supplement their retirement, well, then you can't play that risk.
This is the Safe Money and Retirement Show with John Heishman Sr., founder and partner of Heishman Financial Services, serving the Columbus and surrounding areas. John specializes in educating pre-retirees and retirees about safe money strategies and ideas. Now, it's the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Here's John Heishman Sr.
You've tuned into another episode of the Safe Money and Retirement Show. So thanks for joining me. I'm your host, John Heishman. Those of you that are thinking of retirement, maybe you're several months or so away, or you've just retired, have you thought about what retirement is going to look like? It's funny because when you think about retirement planning, everything we read, that we see or discuss, it's all about the finances. Does the retiree have enough money to retire? Enough money that's going to last the rest of his or her life. But let's say that's not an issue. You've done your retirement income plan. You've set up income streams that are going to last you the rest of your life. You have plenty of liquidity to cover emergencies, and financially, you're ready to go. However, nobody talks about, are you really ready to retire from a non-financial standpoint? And that's probably the reason that so many retirees don't have a plan on what they're going to do. How are they going to stay busy and reach fulfillment during the retirement years? And it could be 20, 25, or 30 years. I've become very aware of this situation after studying the Retirement Income Certified Planner designation, where they have a complete chapter just designated to life after retirement. So I have made it part of my planning strategies to be able to discuss with my clients. There's a good book entitled Life Reimagined, Discovering Your New Life Possibilities that define retirement as the golden years, a life without pressure, time clocks, and the demands of work. Retirement today doesn't mean what it used to. Workers used to retire at 65 and live another 10 years. However, in addition to longer life expectancy, today's retirees have much better health, more education, more income, and ultimately more options for having a better active life, fulfilling retirement than those of previous generations. As more than 76 million baby boomers continue retiring, again, many don't consider retirement an end, but rather a transition phase to a new life. Or I should say, they need to seriously consider that transition. And what are they going to do? An active, healthy retirement is positive, or it should be. The ideal picture of life after work is not always a reality. If retirees have not done the proper emotional planning for this transition, they may find themselves unsure of how to use so much leisure time. And this is what I want to address, because it's real easy to wonder how to experience a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction without a job. Or how are you going to create a social network outside of work? I think staying connected with family, community, friends, and avoiding isolation are the keys to a happy retirement. This is what I try to project and make my clients aware, preferably before they make that final retirement decision. I've had several clients that actually changed their mind about retirement after we had this discussion. And I didn't try to persuade them either way. My objective was to make them aware and to think of what does retirement look like to you without having that so-called 9-to-5 job that you've been doing for the last 40 to 45 years. They don't realize the extent to which they are defined to and by their work until they leave. Some people thrive on the structure, the routine and challenges, and yes, even the stress of work. It has become a part of life. They will need to discover who they are aside from their status in the workplace. I urge those approaching retirement to consider, where do you want to go next? With whom? Doing what? Living where? For what purpose? Retirement should be looked at as an opportunity to repack or reload the next chapter and decide what is essential for the road ahead. What should you let go of and what to keep? Retirement provides the opportunity to pursue a part-time career, which many do. As a matter of fact, as time goes on that I've seen, more and more are. It allows retirees to have the time to become more engaged, communicate with other individuals, and at the same time, earn a little extra spending money. And I've seen that within my clientele. They're not going back to work full-time or part-time because they need the money. They want that satisfaction. They want to continue to accomplish and be able to help people. You might say, how to retire happy, wild and free, and enjoy life. And the problem is, so many are not. It's because they don't have a plan. They don't know what they want to do. And we all know the worst thing that could happen is to spend all day watching television or doing nothing. And unfortunately, we've seen that happen and what the results are from past generations. For those who are in a relationship, these decisions should be made in conjunction with their partner. New retirees need to understand that the amount of time spent together will probably change, as will the way they spend it. I want to encourage my clients to use the opportunity of putting together a plan and encourage them to explore new opportunities discover what they like and find what it is that will excite them when they wake up each morning in retirement. Goals and objectives still apply. I welcome the opportunity to discuss your plans and to offer my assistance going through this with my clients and taking the education that I have received and apply that to your situation to put together a retirement plan, not a financial retirement plan if you're in the situation where you don't need financial advice. Once again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm referring to those that are retiring that are financially fit. Your financial plan, your retirement plan is set up, ready to go based on your needs. Then we can go into that next step. I look at my situation, and when and if I ever do retire, I'm going to be busier than I am now working full time. That's because I have so many interests, so many hobbies to keep me busy, and a full, satisfactory retirement. And that's what I strive for all of my clients to have. And then in the future, if you decide to go back to work part-time because you couldn't fill your schedule with things to do, then go back to work. There's nothing wrong with going back to work after you've retired. The point is, try and know what you want to do, make a plan, and follow through with that plan. I'd love to be able to help in that area. 888-426-0177. That number again is 888-426-0177. After the break, I'll be giving you more information, so stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with John Heishman. For more information, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Or visit their website at HeishmanFS.com. More of the Safe Money and Retirement Show in a moment.
The goals of good retirement planning are to help each individual to end up with more money at the end of the day, but also provide more income during retirement. And this creates a less stressful investment experience, especially in times like this. I like to emphasize and stress stronger financial understanding. Not only could you have greater wealth, more income, and a better night's sleep, you should also have a stronger grasp of your own financial standing. With a strong retirement plan in place, you're going to know exactly what you can withdraw from your retirement accounts every month, how much you need to live comfortably, and how long your savings is going to last. This is John Heishman, your host with the Safe Money and Retirement Show, 888-426-0177, 888-426-0177.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with John Heishman. To contact John, the number to call is 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Once again, here's John Heishman.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm your host, John Heishman. On a side note, I have a lot of listeners and non-listeners that I talk to that ask me about the name of the show, Safe Money and Retirement. Well, the retirement part is kind of self-explanatory because we do retirement planning. The safe money part is putting clients' money in safe accounts, safe strategies where they never lose a dime. These accounts are protected from risk and can generate lifetime income if the client chooses to do so. For those that don't want safe money, and when I say that, I'm talking about they want part or all of their money at risk. After a risk tolerance test, many times it shows that tolerance for risk. And when we talk to a client that wants money at risk, my son works with them since he handles assets under management for our firm. In most cases, we work together. I take care of the portion of the client's money that is safe, and he works with them for money at risk, which will give the maximum potential growth. The question is, what's the percentage? And of course, it's all over the board. It could be 50-50, 70-30, 80-20, 100% one way, or 100% the other way. So I just thought I would touch on that simply because people do ask me, well, what is safe money? The good thing about being independent, we can place money wherever is the best fit for the client. What is in their best interest in designing a portfolio and retirement plan. I like that approach. It works. And the main thing, our clients are pleased. So I want you to think about your money. Is it placed in the right accounts based on your situation, your risk tolerance, and what's best for you? Not the advisor, not the company that manages the money, but for you. Love to hear from you, your thoughts, your concerns, and we're here to answer your questions. 888-426-0177. 888-426-0177. And I invite you to visit our website, HeischmanFS.com. HEISCHMAN, then the initials F and S.com. I want to switch gears from the topic I discussed on the first part of the show and talk about budgeting. So many people don't like the word budget. So don't turn off your radio. Don't switch stations. If you're one of those people, I want to make it simple and get the point across how critical budgeting is in retirement planning. Most people have an idea in their mind about where their money goes, how much income is coming in, but don't have a formal budget, which is part of our planning. And I don't see how it can be done if you don't have a budget, or if you do, we can review it. And there are times where we don't have to recommend any changes. Years ago, I was one of those individuals that did not go by a formal budget. I guess it was because I didn't want to see the outcome as far as where the money was going or where the money was being wasted. But I finally forced myself to do a budget and getting in the habit. Now that's the key, getting in the habit of reviewing your budget often. Now, when I say often, quarterly, twice a year because things change. I've got some clients that redo their budget, update it monthly, and I think that's great. But regardless of how often you review your budget or make changes in your budget, the fact is you're doing it and you're going to find money that's being wasted or that can be put to better use. Increase your cash flow. Additional money for savings, which is what I'm big on, or entertainment and vacations. I enjoy working with clients to help establish a budget, and it is not that difficult. I give ideas that help because we need to simplify that to the point where you understand it and enjoy working on your budget. So for those of you that don't like the word budget, let's change that. And in most situations, you're going to like the results. 888-426-0177, 888-426-0177. We can break this down into steps where step one, let's gather the following items: bank, credit card statements from the last 12 months, your last 2 pay stubs, or retirement income, required minimum distribution income. And for those of you that are still working or employed, last year's tax return. Step 2, identify all of your recurring monthly, quarterly, or annual payments. So many haven't budgeted for that, let's say, auto insurance payment that comes every 6 months, or property taxes that come every 6 months, and they've got to dip into savings. If these are budgeted on a monthly item, you'll have the money when they come due. Step 3, account for health care. This is a big item that is missed. Not only, let's say, quarterly premium payments, but out-of-pocket cost. And this is a projection based on the previous year. Step 4, remember to factor in fun. We want to make that budget fun and exciting to where you look forward to reviewing that budget, whether it's monthly or quarterly, twice a year. Once I help you set up a budget or make minor changes, you're going to have fun. Step 5, calculate fixed versus flexible cost. There's 2 columns here. Fixed cost, you have to pay. Mortgage, car payment, utilities, taxes, healthcare, etc. Flexible cost, this is the column where changes can be made. And typically, this is the column where you find out how much you're spending money that you don't need to be spending. You now have control over one critical factor, your spending, especially in retirement, because the majority of retirees are not receiving 100%, or I should say equal to 100% of your pre-retirement income. But the point is, you don't need, in most cases again, you don't need 100% of your pre-retirement income because a lot of expenses are eliminated that you had in pre-retirement. Many are operating on 70 to 80% of pre-retirement income, and they're in as good a shape or even better being retired. I think going into the first of the year, which is right around the corner, is a great time to start your budget planning, and preferably before, over the holidays, so you're starting fresh, a brand new budget going into next year. Once again, let me know if I can help you, or if you would like a copy of a budget form that I use that you can use, make copies for when you redo your budget. There's no cost. It's complimentary to all of my listeners. 888-426-0177. That number again, 888-426-0177. I hope I've given you some good information from today's show. I want to thank you for listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Tune in next week for another version that I will bring to you. This is John Heishman. Have a great week, a safe week, and have fun.
The Safe Money and Retirement Show with John Heishman Sr. To get in touch with John, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. For more information about Heishman Financial Services, visit their website, HeishmanFS.com. That's HeishmanFS.com. Join us again next time for the Safe Money and Retirement Show with John Heishman Sr.